Hi everyone, Neil Cannon here. As you know, I often interview people who are very inspiring. And this man, who I've met here in the beautiful Jericoacoara on the north coast of Brazil, his name is Charlie, is an impressive guy, and I'm going to jump straight in to kind of share with you why. Firstly, thank you, Charlie, for allowing me the opportunity to interview you.
No problem, no problem.
It's your story is really cool. So first of all, can I ask how old you are?
Yes, I'm 77.
So I heard about this guy when I was having my shoulder injury attended to a few days ago with a physio, and she said she's met two incredible brothers who are here in Jericoacoara. One is 77 and one who's 78, and they're both avid windsurfers, so very, very active. And I think that's very impressive because many people your age don't really have that kind of story, and I think you were saying yesterday how some of your friends just think it's crazy what you're doing.
Yes, that's true.
Let's start off. Can you give me, the audience, a bit of your background?
Well, I'm a retired dentist. I grew up with about nothing and managed to get to college and managed to get to dental school and get out, and managed to spend 2 years in the Air Force in Taiwan versus Vietnam back in the early 60s. And throughout my life, I've had, I would say, disasters like kidney cancer or hip replacements, and I've always just tried to get back going, just keep up, not give up on anything. There's no reason not to. That's about the end of my story, I think.
That's the mindset, isn't it?
Yes.
So important.
And the other thing is my family is very important to me. I think that is a family and the social aspects of that, I think, is incredibly important. The people that I know that don't have that, I think, are in a bit of trouble.
That's very, very interesting. You may have noticed his accent, by the way. You're from Southern California, Carlsbad,
yes.
which is near to where I was living in Los Angeles.
Yes.
An amazing part of the world. So, you say family is very important to you. That's amazing. You were telling me about your wife and your children last night that you seem very close to.
Yes,
it's a big
very
part of
much.
your mindset. What else? I mean, how often are you windsurfing here?
I've been coming here for 10 years. The year that I retired, I came here in November. I was selling my practice in December. Okay, so I come here in November for a month. That means I'm not working. Well, my practice is valued on the production that it creates. So I took a month off, and I was told this was going to cost me a lot of money. My attitude was I had enough money, and I would only get to go to Brazil once this year.
Right.
Well, who knew what the next year was going to be? So I took it off, and I haven't regretted it at all, and I haven't missed the money either.
Right, and that was 10 years ago. But by the way, to get here, it's quite a trip from Los Angeles, or do you fly from Los Angeles or San Diego?
Well, I flew from Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Well, actually San Diego, then to Los Angeles, then to
Miami.
Then I went to Panama, and then Panama to Portalasia.
Yeah, it's quite a journey. It's about did you say 30 odd hours? I remember that.
Yeah, 30 hours plus. Yeah.
It took me that long about three years ago when I came here from LA. So and then you have a 4-hour transfer on a 4x4.
Yes.
Then you've got to go over sand dunes for about 45 minutes of that. It's quite an interesting experience, isn't it when you first arrive, because everything's on sand. There aren't any roads here. You walk around barefoot. It's pretty amazing place.
Yes.
So you're windsurfing every single day?
Yes.
For
about a month.
Amazing. So you're here for a whole month windsurfing every single day. Incredible. What do you do when you're at home to kind of keep active?
Well, I make a very I have always been active. I've always been I was never involved with regular sports like baseball or football or anything like that. I grew up fishing for tuna when I was 15 years old, not playing little league baseball, and so now I stand up paddle in the surf there off of Carlsbad 2 days a week, and the other 3 days of the week I have an exercise program that takes me 45 to 50 minutes. One of the things I do is I do some pull-ups, and I can usually do about 24 pull-ups, either with my hands facing towards me or away from me, and that gives you a little bit of idea of what I've done.
Non-supported? completely free weight.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
impressive.
So,
I
but-
can't do that.
But one of the points was dentistry is a very stressful job mentally. You're inside people's face and you're dealing with pain and all that. And so that stress is transfers to the dentist. Also, very few dentists are healthy. They work bent over and twisted. And they spend their whole life, spend 44 years doing that. And to compensate for that, after work, I would go to the gym 3 days a week. And I would work out, and then I would do yoga. And I think the yoga program, you have to do it and have a good teacher, and it's the mental part of the yoga. I don't think the stretching and all, it really helps, especially for a dentist. But I think the mental part of the yoga, which is, I can't explain it all, but it really did help. Now I meditate at least once a day on the floor, quiet for 10 minutes. And if I'm like here, I will probably do it twice a day. After I windsurf, my body's pretty beat up, and if I do that, I wake up. I don't wake up, but I'm feeling much better. So throughout my life, I've been active, and when I've gotten hurt, and I've had my right kidney cancer done with a 3-stage cancer, I just kept going. I said, this isn't the end. I'm going to get back to going, and it took a while. I had other injuries, hip replacements, blah, blah. I always recover. And the hardest thing in the world for me was when I had my hip replaced, I showed the physical therapist what I did. This windsurfing here in Jerry is extreme. I go to Maui, I go to California, I windsurf the gorge, all over the U.S. Nothing is like this. This place is tough. And I don't give up on it. I just keep going. That's
amazing. That's so incredible. Yeah, this thing about Jericoacoara is it's one of the leading windsurfing destinations in the world, and kite surfing actually. That's why I'm here. And I'll show you the camera quickly where we are. You can see those windsurfers over there. It's a pretty magical place. So it's not as if you're doing kind of lake windsurfing. You're doing hardcore wave sailing.
Yes, yes.
Which is very impressive. So yesterday, you talked about working out. You said you work out, you do pull-ups, and you do these 45-minute workouts 3 times a week.
Yeah.
How about your food? What do you tend to eat?
Okay, I've always been very conscious of my weight, and because we had some obesity in my family, and so my diet is very simple, and my diet is the same. I eat the same breakfast and the same lunch every day. If you're interested in what I'm eating, well, that's fine. My breakfast is oatmeal, cooked oatmeal with dried cranberries and dried blueberries and a heaping spoonful of walnuts, and then I have a 1-egg omelet with a salsa on that. That's my breakfast. My lunch is always the same also. I buy turkey from a store that cooks the turkey so it has no nitrates or preservatives or anything like that.
Antibiotics.
And it's turkey breast. I cut the fat off of it, and I have a whole wheat, whole grain bread. I put mustard on my turkey, and then some lettuce, and I eat that. And then my fruit I always have for lunch is either an apple or an orange. I have an orange tree at home.
Nice.
And so I eat the oranges when they're gone. I have an apple tree. I eat the apples. Otherwise, we'll go buy apples at a store, Whole Foods, or one of the good stores that you don't have to worry about the pesticides. Okay?
Yeah.
Dinner time, my wife and I do not eat lunch or breakfast together. She's on a different schedule. She eats very light like I do, but different. Dinner we eat together, and with my family we always ate together, no matter what. Football or sports or whatever, if we had to wait late, we always ate together, and I thought that was important. And many things happen at the dinner table where I see people watching television.
Oh yeah.
The television was off. The television could not go on until the homework is done, at least after 8 o'clock at night.
We had something similar actually.
I think that's very important.
Yeah.
So, anyway, dinner is small, and it's we little red meat. We may have red meat maybe once a week. We eat a lot of chicken, not as much fish as I would like because my wife doesn't like smelly fish. But it is healthy food. And the proportions are similar. Let's say we went out and ate at a hamburger place, which we will do occasionally. We only eat half the hamburger. We take the other half home. So her hamburger will be different than mine, but both of us, we could share it if we liked the same hamburger.
Right.
But we only eat half a meal.
Okay.
The meal that the restaurants serve is too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you said as well yesterday you have lots of salads and vegetables.
Oh, the salad, yeah. During veggies and salads at dinner time are big. I mean, I eat a big salad and even here we eat fortunately, they serve a good salad, and you can eat it and not get sick. In Mexico, you never eat the salad. You
because
never,
of the water.
Oh,
yeah.
You want to be sick, eat the salad.
There's something you mentioned earlier. You said you have whole grain bread. In America, it's been really messed with now. So a lot of people find that when they take out the gluten, they start to heal. Their gut starts to heal, and autoimmune diseases go away, skin conditions go away. It's very interesting that you're okay with the gluten because you're clearly very fit and healthy. And I think a lot of this is down to the mindset. Because if you're healthy in the mind and your emotions are up here, you say as well you laugh a lot and
I do.
There's a lot of love. There's a phenomenon called the honeymoon effect as well, which is about how the immune system is much stronger when we're experiencing emotions of love and joy and care and compassion. This is kind of Bruce Lipton stuff, and your body is way more forgiving of things that might be causing harm otherwise. So I just thought it's very interesting that you're saying you're having bread every single day, because some people that would actually cause.
Can I tell the story of how I got cancer?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay. This is an interesting thing, and I think it's important. My father was not the nicest guy in the block, to put it mildly. He would spend as much as a year in jail at a time. And he was not part of my life, but he was always bouncing back into it, taking from me and my family. And so when he died, he left a huge mess to clean up. My son was young, my daughter was young, and I was totally involved with those children. I was a Cub Scout master, I had my Cub Scout den, I coached my daughter's soccer team, and all of a sudden I was having to spend every weekend instead driving an hour and a half to where he had lived and cleaning up this huge mess. It took a year and a half away from me and my family, and I was really angry. I mean, really angry about this. And so, funny thing, about a year and a half later, I'm in Aruba sailing, and I start peeing port wine. This is not good. And the outcome is I had stage 3 kidney cancer. So when I went to the oncologist, they took my kidney out, and when I went to the oncologist, he said, I can't treat you because you're an angry person. And I said, well, yeah, I'm kind of angry. He says, well, you got to fix that before I can treat you. This man saved my life because I read about humor, the fact that I couldn't do anything about what it was the past. You only have today. Yesterday's a canceled check. Today is money in your pocket, and tomorrow's a promissory note. And with that attitude, I got rid of all that crap and really got into the humor, and I think he saved my life. Because I had a 50-50 chance of getting through that next year.
Wow.
When the surgeon came by, surgeons have an attitude. They have to be impersonal. They're not going to make you friends with you because they know you might die.
Right.
So anyway, he comes by the next day and he says, well, you've got that was stage 3, you got a 50-50 chance next year, but you'll have a nice life. And I will not say what I told him because it's quite foul, but I told him in very blunt terms that I was going to dance at my daughter's wedding, and she was 7. And that wedding, I will not tell you how much it was, but there was almost 100 people in Baja, California, okay, at this first-class place. It lasted 5 days, and nobody's forgotten that wedding. And I'd saved up for it, and I felt so good about that. And people still tell me, and of course my daughter and her husband also appreciate it. But the point was I could give this, and I was not going to let that cancer get me. Just wasn't.
Love it. So important. The mind-body connection is huge. There's a thing called have you heard of the nocebo effect?
No.
So the placebo effect is when we take a sugar pill, and then the mind-body connection triggers in, and we secrete a pharmacy of chemicals in the body which heal the body. So we think we're taking a drug mentally, but actually it's the mind-body connection that's healing the body. So that's the placebo effect.
Okay.
The nocebo effect is like that on the flip side, when if we are told certain things by an authority that we trust, let's say you've got X months to live, if we trust that authority, we will accept that, and that's enough to shut the body down.
I totally believe that.
So we've got a lot of oncologists out there who are giving these kind of prognoses based on statistics, not on the individual in front of them.
Yeah.
It's actually a really interesting conversation because 3 people have approached me this week talking about cancer, but this thing called the nocebo effect is so massive. On the flip side, the power of the mind to heal the body is so huge.
Well, I agree with that. And at the time, I didn't realize it, but I was determined to do whatever it took to stay healthy, eat healthy, and I would be there. And it worked.
Amazing.
And
laughter was part of it.
Oh, I had the greatest time you ever saw. I mean,
you said you were watching comedies and...
Yeah, I was watching comedies. I read some books that I wish Norman was the author of this one book on kind of like Reader's Digest, laughter's the best medicine. And that's been there forever, and it truly is, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Love, laughter, joy, all those higher states of emotions that trigger different chemicals in the body.
One of the things that I would like to mention to you that I think is of interest to anybody, when you have a career and you're completely immersed in your career and it's a good part of your social life, when you stop this career, there's this huge vacuum. And your friends are, I didn't want to talk about teeth anymore. And you need to find, especially men, do not have large groups of men like I see women have. And I had a few friends, but that was not enough. And I think you have to go out and discover some sort of a social group, that whether it be a bunch of golf buddies. I happen to be restoring old cars with a bunch of old guys. And it's very important to have these social interactions. Without them, I think you kind of go downhill.
Yeah.
And it took me a while. It took me a while to find, what really worked on a daily, weekly basis.
And you said as well you refurbished a truck. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you retired and then started refurbishing something. So you've got the mind engaged. You're creating. It's basically creation, isn't it? The moment we stop creating is the moment our brain kind of goes.
And a million things went wrong. Totally
Brilliant.
this story, but I kept doing it, and because of that, I learned so much.
Yeah.
And then as I mentioned to you, I'm the technical director of 2 different clubs, and there's people that've been doing this for 30 years, but they don't want to talk about it. But I can talk about the basics that the new members that the clubs need, and teach them this because I've learned this, and I think there's it's part of the social thing. And also making my brain work, because I have to do a whole bunch of homework on how a carburetor works. Okay.
Right.
Because I didn't know how one worked.
Yeah.
But I'd go on the internet, find out, and then break it down real simple, just so somebody can understand it.
Very cool.
And keeping my mind going.
Yeah. Amazing. So that's been so interesting. We're coming up to like 20 minutes, which is
good.
Perfect. Is there anything else you'd like? You've given such amazing nuggets of advice there. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just think that.
What's the number one thing would you say that's kept you this vital and vibrant?
Oh boy. I would say my family. Family is just really important, and I want to stay healthy. I'm 77 years old, and I have two 3-month grandkids, and one that's 2.5. I'm going to watch those children graduate from high school 18 years from now. I will be 96 most likely.
I totally believe it. Yeah.
And I'm going to watch them and be viable, being active with those children.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons when I I kind of get down and I really want to work out today, and I think, well, if you don't, you're not going to be there.
Yeah.
So you go pay, and once I start, I can't quit.
Yeah.
I could never stop in the middle of a workout. It's not part. I couldn't do that.
The toughest bit is often that on ramp, isn't it? It's starting, it's getting
You just
to the gym,
have
or
to
it's
do it.
or it's putting on your gym stuff.
That's why I don't go to the gym anymore.
Right.
I got the stuff at home to do.
Yeah.
Because the gym was taking twice as much, just getting ready, going there, doing the thing, getting the locker, blah blah blah, and then coming back. And I'm okay. I don't need other people around me to do this. I just do my own thing, and that's so it's way more efficient for me.
Yeah.
I'd be doing this because I went to the gym for 40 years.
Right.
You know, after work. So I know what that is, and my son goes to the gym, and he's a big time weightlifter. I mean, I don't know, like 350 pounds stuff, you know, silly. But I think, but being there for my family, you know, I think that's most important to me.
Amazing.
And I am so lucky that I have a wife that supports my goals and the fact that I can come here for a month and she doesn't mind.
That's pretty cool.
She's extremely social. So she right now is in Newport Beach with a bunch of girlfriends at a condo.
Nice.
Having a great time.
Amazing.
Yeah. So,
Good for her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good for her. Yeah. You bet.
Absolutely.
And so we have this relationship that works very well this way.
Incredible.
And that's important. That's very important. Is this relationship, you know, of family. I think that's without that, I think you're in a downhill spiral.
Yeah.
I really do. People start drinking. You know, it's just I don't know. It's not good.
Yeah. Well, that's been amazing. Thank you so much, Charlie.
Okay. Glad meeting you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been good.
Turn it
Thank you
off.
for
I
watching.
have to tell you something. Go ahead.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Hit the link below to discover more secrets to vitality.